It's not something welcome to my Short Engines in the big UK. Big thank you to all you guys who subscribe to this channel. In today's video, it's talking about buying a lemon. Yes, buying a lemon. Now, when you've not vastly experienced in the motor trade, and I've met a young lad recently, a 23-year-old lad, and he's wanting to buy his dream truck and he's gone and bought it online. Big mistake. What he should have done is, if you're ever buying a used vehicle, find an independent specialist in that vehicle and speak to them before you dive in and part with your hard-earned cash. That's my advice to anyone across the world. Always do a bit of research about the car as well, because we've got a particular car in today. It's a 2012 Nissan Navara D40, and unfortunately for the poor young lad, he really has bought a lemon. Now, what I want to show you in this video is some of the simple things that you need to be looking out for when you're actually purchasing the car. I mean, you can't always actually do that online, so I always advise you, go and see the car personally yourself, because it's vitally important that you look after your hard-earned cash. It's what we all do for a living. Right, so basically, having a look at this Nissan Navara here, looking on this side, looking on the face of it, it looks really, really well. Tidy looking truck, 2012, 51,000 miles. Now, one of the most important things we always check out for is the chassis and corrosion within chassis. And it's actually only quite light, but like I said, it's a 2012. Looking for the gaps, that's the most important things. What we're looking out for, guys, on this truck is gaps. Now that looks like a pretty even gap all the way around, so again, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, let's go around the other side. This guy's totally different. If you have a look here, it's not flush. The gap's the same, but it's actually as if the tub is turned that way. It's not flush like it is at the other side. So that would say to me that the chassis has actually got damage. So again, you need to be looking that a little bit further. Chassis damage, that's a major safety issue. Now, let's have a look at the front and I'll see what else I can show you. Right, so going back to gaps. Now, gaps are important because they can tell you whether the car's been in an impact before. And I'm looking at, again, at this door seams, all around the doors, looking for all the gaps to be absolutely identical. And that, look at that, that's too far, is that gap. See that there? There you go. And again, looking in this wheel arch, see that? So again, would indicate some form of front end damage. And again, what else I'm looking at is the gap on the bonnet. Now, not only is it not flush, as it should be, there's a thin gap here to a wider gap at the top of the wing, which is there. So again, that would indicate to me that this has had some sort of front end damage. What you can also see is the bumper aligning with the headlight, and then a gap appears under the grille, and it continues right across, and actually I can get my whole finger underneath the light. On the other side, I can't do that. Another thing, guys, here the grille is actually touching the light. If we go back here, there's a huge gap. So, and also there's damage to the side step. Like somebody's picked it up with a forklift truck. So anyway, we've done some research on this vehicle. The owner paid £8,500 for it, and then did some research, and it turns out to be a category C accident damage. Now, category C is quite serious. It means structural chassis damage or crumple zone damage. Now, actually, to put this vehicle back on the road legally, before it can go for MOT, it's actually got to go to a DVLA centre. Now, Cat C is now changed to Cat S. And if you have a Cat S vehicle, you need a V23 certificate of road worthiness. So that's really, really important, guys. Without that certificate, that car's not legal on the road. Now that certificate should stay with the car's documentation for the rest of the vehicle's life, because if you sell that on, you need that for future MOTs, which make it roadworthy. Right, it doesn't just end there with this car. And this poor guy, he's only 23, he's running his own business. And we need to talk about why it's in the workshop. Obviously, if it's coming to see me, there's obviously something wrong. So I'm going to get in it now. It's only covered 51,000 miles, remember? And we'll start her up and see what we hear. Saying oil's low, but oil warning light is flashing, which is normally quite serious. So let's go pop the bonnet and see what we find, and you tell me what you can see, what's missing or what should or shouldn't be there. Given low mileage, you thought everything would be fine with this car. And oh my gilly goodness, that is ridiculous. Certainly been off-road. Right, straight away, immediately, alarm bangles are ringing for me. It just looks very aged. What I can notice is it's breathing oil all over the place. I've noticed there's a bracket missing here for the main intercooler pipe. There's no heat shield on the actual turbo itself. I'll just check oil level. Now, the car's come in with a fault, and it's an exhaust gas temperature sensor fault, which is located in the exhaust manifold. So to change the sensor, you've not only got to look at why it's faulty, but you've got to get to the cause, and the cause of it is actually a faulty injector. She's over diesel it. So that's the reason why the car's in here as well, and it is extremely low. But it has got oil leaks coming from all over the place. Literally, quite a few oil leaks under there. And to top it off, guys, I'm looking at the injectors. Somebody's obviously had them out in the past. Can you see number 4? Look how twisted it is there compared to number 3, number 2, and then look at number 1. It's that like that. Crazy. And when I say there's oil everywhere, I really mean there's oil everywhere. It's all over the pipes, it's literally everywhere. Right, another thing that I noticed straight away is the top timing chain cover, guys. For one, there's a bolt missing, but 2, it's aluminium. The only timing plate covers that were aluminium were actually going back to the D22 engine and the YD22 engine, which was like going back in 2002, years and years ago. Or the Euro 3, yes, thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, going back to the Euro 3 engine. So, and the Euro 2, get it right, yeah. 2 and 3. So, I've got some bad news to get to tell somebody now, and how do I explain it? I find it disheartening to tell people about this, because it's his dream car, and he's really worked hard to buy this car, and it turns out, to be honest with you, it's only worth a couple of grand as it stands. And yeah, hopefully we can get a good resolution out of this for the guy, because he bought it off a trader, and the trader's told him to do one. Nice of him. Maybe he should have helped him out. Karma. That's what I say. I'm a big believer in karma. In my next video, I've got something to show you. And before you go, guys, the Nissan MP300 Renault engine. Renault? Yeah, well, whatever. We've got it put back together. As you can see, It runs on the single timing chain, as you're all aware if you've seen my other videos. I've got some great news for you. Yes, we are going to be one of the first in the world to be able to do a timing chain upgrade on the MP300. I've spoke to the engineering company and we're on with it, and we could actually be producing the kits within about 90 days. So yes, fantastic news, and I wanted to share that with you. Be sure that we were first in the world. Us Brits are pretty hard here getting things done. We're a bit slow, but we get there in the end. So, a big thank you to watching. I want to make a special mention to all the guys in the Caribbean for watching. Well done, Gerard, to David's here, kids. We're looking to get you all sorted out as soon as we can. And all the guys in New Zealand are selling the very nice messages. So thank you guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you need my help and assistance at all, please feel free to give me a call on 01274 663 999 or email westyorkshireengines@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, give us a like, come again.